So it's January 12th. We lost our water supply yesterday morning because you see in the background there, that black tank, that's our holding tank. That fills from the hill up there. And there's a pump on the system which keeps the pressure. It's a really good pump. So when you open the tap, obviously the pressure in the system drops, the pump goes, oh, not enough pressure, and it pumps and it pushes the water through. It's a great system, it works really well. Until you have a -9 night and the water freezes in the water heater in one of the caravans that you haven't drained. What happens then, when it thaws, is it bursts a pipe. And the pump does its job and pumps 4,000 litres of water into your caravan. So, fortunately, we had another problem, which was that the tank wasn't filling. Otherwise it would have just kept on filling and the pump would have kept on pumping and we would have had goodness knows how much water. So, I went up to the water collection point yesterday, which is where I'm off to again now. You can see it up there behind me, right up in those trees. I went up there to sorry, I was just spotting some sheep, I think, over there, to see why the water wasn't filling the tank down below. But the snow had melted, we had heavy rain yesterday, and so the river down here, or the burn, the Maddie burn, was running so fast I couldn't even get to the tank. But we had another cold night last night and it's been dry. It's going to be dry all day today, so I went up this morning and sure enough, in the collection point up there, the filter was all clogged up with leaves. So I managed to clear all that. Came back down full of hope that the tank was filling down the bottom. Took the tank off, the lid off, only to find that because there was so little water in it, just in the bottom, it had frozen along with the pipe. So today's, I mean, it's -5 at the moment, so no, that was going to thaw out until I came up with a cunning plan. Now I've got to cross the burn here. Go this way. Yeah, I've got an old roofing torch. I do torch on roofing with, and so I set that alight and put it in the tank. Raised the temperature quite significantly, and after 7 or 8 minutes, I guess, okay, presto, the ice came out of the pipe and started flowing. It was really hard at first, but then after a minute it slowed right down again. So I'm thinking that there's going to be some more leaves got sucked in up the top end. So I'm going to go and clear that, but I also noticed that the pipe coming out of the tank and down the burn has been thrown around by the river. It's been in there a few years from what I know, and so there's one point where it looks like it's bent at 90 degrees, which alkathene pipe doesn't like to do, so it might be pinching it there. So that's my job. I'm heading up there. I'm going to flick you around, show you the oh, hold on, how do I do that? Don't know. I'm going to show you where the tank is later on. This is a little burn I've got across here. That's where our water comes from, up the hill. So I'm going to put the phone away and cross the burn so I don't kill it, and catch you at the top. Let's cross the burn and see, it's pretty lovely. Oh dear. Look back down there. You just see the offending caravan just there, and the rest of our land is just over this little brow of that hill there. So this is the Muddy or Vaddy Burn. Apologies to proper Gaelic. Oh, hello, proper Gaelic speakers. It's spelled M-H-A-D-A-I-T-H, and so I believe it's Vaddy, and it runs out of the Vaddy Lochen, or Lochen of Vaddy, which is at the top of quite a long walk up the hill from here, beyond the forestry, and many of the translations that are given for it are the Lochen of the dog, and hence the stream or burn of the dog. Somebody told me recently that there's an old wolf lair at the top of the burn, and I know dogs in Gaelic is con, so maybe Vaddy is right, it's wolf. Maybe it's the wolf Lochen, or the wolf stream. There's our pipe down there, that black piping, which isn't actually the pipe, it's the protection around the pipe. The pipe's blue. So I'm going to get over there and show you the system. So this is the burn at the top of the hill, and that's the catchment tank just there. So I've already been here once this morning. The lid was frozen shut earlier, but should be fine now. That's what I suspected and feared, is that it's not particularly blocked there now after clearing it this morning. This is where I think the problem is. Our blue pipe comes out through this black pipe, runs around that rock. See the blue pipe exposed there, then it comes down there, and then I'll get into a better position, but you'll see that the pipe is bent at 90 degrees. Currently wading through the water, so I'm going to be pretty careful. Yeah, just here, look. That blue pipe is in there, and that's you can see there it's been in there a while, because that's rubbed right through. So I'm going to pull that pipe back the other side of this rock, or these rocks here, and wedge it in place with some rocks, and hope that that frees the constriction which must be there right on this bend. So hopefully that will sort it out. I'm hoping that it hasn't fractured here. Alkathene's pretty tough, it shouldn't have. And hopefully that will mean when I get back down to the bottom that it will be running like a good one. So we'll see. Got straight in the pipe. Sounded alright. It didn't sound like there was any kind of fracture or anything like that. Not that you could hear it over the sound of the burn, but. And collected a bunch of rocks to hold it in place. Amazing. I've seen, oh, we've only been here 7 months, but we've seen this little burn and the river at the bottom of the Erie go from being a, you know, a gentle flow to an absolute monster torrent in a matter of a few hours. Because when you look around, you look behind me, it's all, you can't see much of it really, but it's all forestry. And then on the other side of the glen, you can see is big hills. Can't see them very well, but the hill on the opposite side of the glen is over 1100 feet. And of course every drop of rain that falls on that mountain, and every drop on this side of the valley, all the way from here to, well, I'm not quite sure how far it goes, certainly up to Carnish and beyond, several miles. Every drop of rain in that valley ends up in the River Erie down the bottom of our meadow, and sometimes it's frightening how much water comes through there. So hopefully those rocks will do the job and keep the pipe in place. So I'm hoping when I get back the water is gushing freely into our holding tank. I don't seem to be able to turn the camera around whilst it's filming, so I'm going to do that and then show you the tank when we get there. So that's where we've been, up in those trees, just in there. That's the hillside behind us, forestry, some cut, some left. There's our barn, and that's our holding tank. which hopefully by the time I get there is going to be full of water, or at least filling enthusiastically. There's the pond which I walked across 3 days ago. Solid ice, and we had a big thaw yesterday, well, the day before really, and this is what it's done. It's quite bizarre what's happened to the ice. It seems to have cracked and risen, and then it refroze last night. We had -5 last night. So the water flows out of that pond down into the burn, which again joins up with the River Erie down the bottom. So yeah, beautiful day now, sun's out. Everything will thaw again, but it's due to be cold again tonight. Just stopping and listening, I can hear water flowing. This is good news. This is very good news. Oh, now look at that. That is wonderful news. How quickly things thaw when the sun comes out. The sun's only been out 20 minutes. Look at that. Oh, we'll have water again shortly. This little beast is what did the trick. Old roofing torch. Oh well, job done by the looks of it.